Well, we might have a dot-com bust of a sort, but Apple is still doing really, really, really well. There's a one-year chart of Apple stock, $662 a share. Steve Russolillo is here to tell us. What are you here to tell us about? The value of Apple is now bigger than what?
Biggest of all time. So measuring the company.
Biggest company of all time.
Of all time. Measuring it by its market capitalization, which is now over like $620 billion. It's the biggest company of all time, as you said. So it beats Microsoft. Had the previous, it held the previous distinction in this category, which was in December of 1999. So if you remember back 13 years ago or so, that was when basically the tech bubble was coming to the end, and that was right at Microsoft's peak. And since then, obviously, it's been a sort of a lost decade for Microsoft. But shifting back to Apple, though, this is just another milestone for the company. I mean, this company has had, you saw from the chart, the stock price has just essentially gone just straight up all year long, and it's been a multi-year run for
Although
Apple.
there was a buying opportunity earlier this year when it pulled back a bit, and there was some doubts, would they make it? And now, what is this particular run-up based on?
So analysts are saying that it's really all in anticipation of what is going to come, what's in their product pipeline. And so a lot of people are looking at a potential iPhone 5. They're looking at Apple TV. They're looking at a new iPad. I mean, these are three categories here where people are expecting some really big and key product announcements, and especially with the iPhone 5, because iPhones alone account for 70% of Apple's revenue. So the iPhone 5 is expected to be, some analysts have called it the biggest anticipated product launch ever. And so
no hyperbole there.
Yeah.
So we're seeing dot-com companies sort of implode a little bit, certainly in terms of their valuation. What are the lessons they can learn from Apple's massive success?
Yeah, I mean, I guess what you could say is that social media is still very early in the game at this point, and clearly not as mature and as developed as a company like Apple is. And so I think what we've learned over the past year or so with all these social media companies really struggling, at least in the stock market, is that, were they supposed to go public at this time? Maybe, maybe not. But clearly, Apple is in a league of its own at this point, and I don't know that that's going to change anytime soon.
Great stuff, as always. Love having you on the show. Thank you very much, Steve Russolillo. And you can read more on that on the Marketbeat blog here at WSJ.com.